Hey sisters and brothers, Michelle Gribble dates with beumbrella.com, and today is the first day of spring. Yay! And I can't think of a better day to make a video for you about how God designed nature to support our health. Now, don't take that comment as meaning that this video is only relevant in the spring, because what I'm going to share with you today is vitally important every day of the year. And in this year of 2017, the fact is that we wreak unnecessary havoc on our bodies by ignoring how God designed nature. And before we begin, know that I ignored the rhythms of nature, the cycles of the year, the cycle of the day for most of my life. And as a result, I was brought down by allergies and headaches and constipation and colds, but not anymore. So to begin with, I want you to consider if your grocery list pretty much includes the same foods, whether it is January or July. Again, zero judgment here. Because for years, my grocery list changed very little from season to season. Every week, it was the same cold cereals, the same healthy snacks, even a lot of the same fruits and vegetables, because the same fruits and vegetables were at the grocery store all year long. And like I said a moment ago, along with these same foods throughout the year, I experienced the same old allergies and the same old mucus and the same old headaches. And that is until I finally learned that God provided me with a grocery list for each season. And when I started eating what creation provides in the season that it's intended to be harvested in my region, my body became a healing machine. Immediately, I noticed new life when I started eating with the seasons. I experienced greater energy, better digestion, more mental clarity, and then a host of other improvements in my health. Cold and flu season became a thing of the past. Allergy season no longer affected me, and you can ask my family, ask my parents. It affected me big time for a long time. Now, if you're not sure how to connect your meals with the rhythms of nature, first, know that you're not alone. Unfortunately, that knowledge is not getting passed down through generations like it once was. But fortunately, it's a pretty simple concept. And to understand how to eat with the seasons, just remember that like attracts like, and that opposites bring balance. Like attracts like, and opposites bring balance. So, in the winter, when it's cold and dry, nature provides us with foods that are warm and nourishing. Foods that are higher in healthy protein and healthy fat. And if you listen to your body, you will notice cravings for soups and stews and warm grains and root vegetables and nuts and seeds this time of year. Now, if you don't listen to your cravings, then the cold and dry of winter, it dries out your sinuses, which produces mucus, which is a breeding ground for bacteria and virus, and then you get the cold, or you get the flu. Kids are going to love this one. We don't harvest leafy greens in the winter, and for good reason. And so there's your ticket to relaxing on your greens for a time. Now, in the spring, when it's super wet outside and you start thinking about going to the beach or to the pool come summer, nature gives us food like leafy greens and sprouts and berries. And these foods provide an antidote to the sogginess of spring, so that you don't produce a bunch of mucus and battle allergies and get colds and flus. And so, also, so that you can lose the extra pounds put on by the heavier foods that you ate in the winter. You know, in the cold of winter, you needed the extra protein, you needed the extra fat. In spring and summer, you don't. And so, nature gives us a low fat diet during these seasons. So, again, in the wet months of spring, fill your plate with leafy greens, sprouts, and berries. These are going to decongest your body and they're going to help you to lose weight. Now, when the heat of summer sets in, nature provides us with cooling, high energy fruits and vegetables, you know, like cucumbers and melons. And these things help us to stay hydrated, and they also help us to have energy through the longer summer days. So eating the cooling fruits and vegetables of summer, it's also important because the heat of summer can dry us out. Now, the issue with this is that winter, as I mentioned, is also very drying. So if you get to the end of the summer and you're already dry going into the fall and winter, that causes excessive dryness on your skin, in your intestinal tract, just everywhere. And being too dry causes major problems for your body. Now, if you're thinking, Michelle, it's a good thing that you're not homeschooling your son anymore because there are actually 4 seasons and you're only telling us about 3. Yes, there are 4 seasons, but in terms of growing and harvesting food, there are really 3 seasons: spring, summer, and then like late summer, early fall. Now, late fall into the winter, that's considered the dormant season, you know, a time to transition from summer to winter. Now, that being said, apples, which are harvested in the fall, help your body to get rid of excess heat, which makes them the perfect transition food from summer to winter. Now, the reason all this matters is because of our microbiomes. Not something you probably think about very often, if ever, but astonishingly important if you care about boosting your mood and boosting your immunity. Now, if you didn't know this, and honestly, I did not know this until recently. I'm sure a science teacher in high school mentioned this, but I was probably passing notes. Your microbiome is made up of billions of bacteria in your intestinal tract, in your respiratory tract, on your skin, just everywhere. And not only does it make up most of the cells in your body, but it supports almost all of the physiological functions in your body. That's huge. So why this matters when we're talking about your menu and your grocery list is because microbes come from the soil. The rich, wonderful, life-giving dirt that God created. You see, microbes in the soil, they attach themselves to plants, and then when we eat the plants, they become part of us. You know, you've heard, you are what you eat. Well, it's literally true. This is so crucial for our health because the microbes in the soil, they change from season to season. And your microbiome is also supposed to change from season to season. This is how God designed our bodies to be able to make the necessary changes throughout the year to maintain abundant health as the climate that you live in turns from warm to cold, from wet to dry. You know, it's truly a divine cycle that most of us have lost touch with because we eat virtually the same food every day of the year. And this lack of diversity has a really terrible impact on our health and well-being. But if you try it, I guarantee that you will experience better immunity in the winter, dissipating heat in the summer, decongestion in the spring, and besides from the incredible health benefits that we experience from eating with the seasons, you will also notice that produce tastes better and it's cheaper and you'll enjoy cooking more and you'll have more creativity in your life from that. And hopefully you'll form greater community with your local farmers by getting your food at farmers markets. And not only does eating this way benefit us as humans, but it also benefits the entire natural world. Because when we're not demanding foods that don't grow in our area 12 months a year, then things like pesticides, chemicals, preservatives, genetic modification, and all these other human interventions, shipping foods thousands of miles, they aren't necessary. And eating in tune with nature's rhythm, it makes us more aware and more appreciative of the radiance of God's creation. We begin to live in balance with our surroundings instead of living in conflict with it. So, I invite you to join me in eating what God intended for you to eat in the season that it's harvested. Your microbiome will start shifting with the seasons like it was designed to do, and in the process, you'll enjoy a noticeable boost in your digestion and thus your mood and your immunity. So, to help you stop neglecting and to start nourishing the glorious body that God gifted you with, I want you to look for regular videos from me full of tips and recipes for each season. I really hope that you will journey with me as I practice, and it's a practice, having more integrity in my temple of the Holy Spirit. And as I reconnect to God by reconnecting to the rhythms of nature that God designed. Thanks for listening. Share this information with your family and friends. And until next time, many, many blessings. Peace.